Hi everybody, Dr. Kogan, trying something new. It's absolutely gorgeous, magnificent Monday morning. I'm driving to work, yeah, I wanted to take time and talk about something that went through my life last week, and I felt that actually this is easier for me since I'm going to be very busy this week, and I don't have to rush. I can talk freely and slowly here and kind of express what I wanted to say this way. So anyway, if you like this platform, if this works for you, let me know. If it doesn't, also let me know. The camera up front is cracked, so you're going to see a little bit of a glare on top of the screen. Just ignore it. I'm going to get a new phone soon, I promise. So last week I had one of my closest patients pass after stopping eating and drinking, and she lived for 12 days without water. And then Friday, I had one of my close friends called me that her dad is dying, and they were not prepared for it, so they're still struggling. They get in hospice this morning, but it was just a very it's hard for them. It was a hard weekend for them. And then I've heard that one of my friends' cancer is progressing, and anyway, so there are a lot of theme of death last week for me. And of course, I'm a palliative care doc, so you would think that professionally that happens all the time, but when it comes close, it triggers different set of processing, and that's what I really want to talk about, the processing. I don't know what particular message I'm giving here, except to say that at some point we all have to face our own mortality, and we have to process it, and the sooner we start, the better it is. I'm not going to talk to my kids about this topic necessarily now, although why not? But at some point in one's life, we ought to give this thought, and not just a thought, it's a whole state of awareness here, facing our own mortality, living our lives knowing that we're going to move, and not trying to ignore it. I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of denial going on. Literally, I have acquaintances who, they believe they're going to stay young forever, and they want to ignore this topic altogether. They just kind of, I'm going to do everything in my power to stay young longer and not think about this, and maybe there's going to be some breakthrough that'll give me more time. None of this matters, actually, because in reality, nobody's going to find a cure for mortality anytime soon. And even if we do, it will not be actual cure. It will be a delaying of the fact. Even if you think about it even differently, yes, there's a biological reason for mortality. There's a biological importance of different genes and different expressions, and we're probably going to solve a lot of the puzzles there, and we may in some way get closer and closer as we go to the tissue immortality, if you will. But there's something to be said about a deeper level here. There's a reason why we should come here, if that's what you believe in. And we're learning our lessons here. We do our service. We express. We're tuning our note to be a part of the orchestra, if you know what I mean, for that period of time to play in that orchestra, and then we go to do other things. That at least is my belief. And so, I think if you totally ignore that we're going to move one day, I think you're just not going to learn all the lessons that are here to learn. And yet, some of us are probably processing this more than others. That probably has to do with the simple fact of what service we do in life, what kind of life we have. And you may think that this is all dark and negative, that all these experiences I have are somehow depressing me. It's actually quite the opposite. They making me stronger. They making me not just more resilient, in some ways they're making me happier. They make me realize that, yeah, there's a limited time, and we're all gonna end up in the same place. But while we're here and we're living this life, knowing our own mortality helps us to live it way to the fullest, and not being afraid of facing and sitting with someone who is moving and having these conversations and being there for them and love them. It opens something in us, those who are staying. It opens something. I can only describe it as when we all have our own smoking mirrors when it comes to our spiritual growth. And to me, this topic is the one that seems to be the best map, the best cleaning cloth, if you will, that polishes that mirror, that enhances my love to other people and helps me to serve the ones who are staying better. That's kind of, I can put it that way. It also triggers a much deeper level of inquiry internally for me. It nothing else triggers the depth of meditation for me compared to this topic. Even when emotionally sometimes it's hard to process things, I know that actually is a prelude for some of the deepest and most powerful meditative experiences. And so I've learned over the years to embrace this, and instead of moving away, how it would be easier in some way to do, right? Is just kind of ignore this whole topic and saying, I'm just going to live my life fullest. I'm going to experience what I experience, try to stay happy, tries to stay joyful. But interestingly enough, maybe the reason this topic and this processing can give us more joy than you realize is that everything comes in comparisons. So when you start facing your own mortality, when you start facing the pain of this mortality, the pain of transition, the pain of letting go and leaving everything behind in this ultimate act of moving on, you're realizing, you know what, like, a lot of things don't matter in life, right? Like practically speaking, what ended up happening after some of these meditative experiences yesterday, I realized how much clutter I have. And I said, look, you have to declutter it, not because, it frees a lot of energy, but also it frees our mind to stay more focused on the things that are more important. Even if it's just energetically, even if, you can just ignore the clutter and live your life. But you can ignore it, but then yet that's a footprint that you're living. And so I think, and trust me, I'm not a hoarder. Well, at least I think I'm not. I mean, those of you who know me close may think differently, but okay. But we all can get some cleaning done, right? I mean, we all can clean up stuff that's been sitting with us for a long time. So that also letting go and getting rid of things that you think are quote unquote close to you, that's also part of that preparation. That's also part of the opening the space in our lives to have new experiences, to keep on living, and to keep being reminded that this is going to end, and that's okay. That's not just okay. I mean, actually, when it's going to end, there's going to be some new beginning, our soul's going to move on, and they're going to have some other things to do and some other experience to have and new horizons. So yeah, I hope this wasn't a rant. I hope you're gonna like this. And the way I'm gonna process this even more, I think I'm gonna try to get together with my good friend Dile Kirmati, who's integrative palliative care doc. She's the real expert here, and I'm just dipping my toes, I think. And I'm just gonna ask her some hard questions, and we'll see if we do that as a YouTube channel video or GW podcast. So stay tuned. Okay, well, everybody have a good working week, or whatever's in front of you this week. Try to get glimpses of the beautiful nature, that always clears things for me a lot more. So stay well, friends. Live your life to fullest. Bye.